Capturing detailed and accurate scan data does not have to be a long, complicated process. Artec Studio's Autopilot is a simple way to get great results. Let's switch over to the software and I'll show you how this works. Alright, here we are in Artec Studio. I will be scanning this sumo character. It's a nice little organic object. The first thing we have to do, of course, is capture scan data. So I will start scanning here. You'll notice there's a grid that appears underneath the object. That is showing that Artec Studio has recognized the base, and that will be automatically removed when we're done scanning. Now we want a complete object here. So I'm going to come in and I flipped it over, and we're going to do 2 more scans here. So I can capture all the angles that were missed in that first scan. All right. And that's it for the scanning. Should be plenty right there. All right, so right now we're looking at the raw scan data. When I click the Autopilot button here in Artec Studio, it runs a little fine registration process, which is a little bit of a fine-tune alignment within each scan. And then it runs the automatic base removal. So now we're left with just the scan data that we want to use. I'll click OK here, and it gives me the option to choose 1 or more scans. I want to process all the scans that I just captured, so I'll say select all and click next. And now we are presented with a list of questions here that we have to answer about the object that we just scanned. Now, if you are unsure of what it's asking for any of these questions, there's a little button next to each one that you can click, and it will give you a visual example or list options that clarify what it's asking. Now, this is all pretty good for this object. I am going to put in a specific resolution of 0.3 millimeters and a polygon count of 200,000 polygons. And then click next. I'll leave everything else. Now it gives me the option here to edit stuff out of my object. I don't have to remove the base because it already did that, and there's nothing else I want to remove, so I'll say skip this step. Now it's doing its automatic alignment. That works really well for objects like this, and it asks if it looks good. I will say yes because this looks good. It did give me the option to manually align things if the autopilot did not work for your object. And that manual alignment is a pretty easy, process as well. So now what it's doing is it's taking all of the questions that you answered and setting up all of these algorithms behind the scenes and then running them based on the answers that you gave. Now all of these algorithms can be run manually in the Tools tab here. But since we're using Autopilot, that's not needed. We just answer those simple questions and it processes our model. So this is our model here. It ran the mesh simplification to set it to 200,000 polygons, and now it just finished applying the color texture. I could view this as just the geometry only and look at that. That looks pretty good right there. Switch back the color. And that's it. That's how simple it is to use the Artec Studio Autopilot feature.